The row of sexism at the highest levels of tennis continues to rage following Serena Williams' furious outburst at the umpire during a defeat in the US Open final. Many are rallying behind the former world #1, though, claiming double standards here, but others on the other side have turned to mocking her actions on court. Depends where you stand on it.
I'm here fighting for women's rights and for women's equality and for all kinds of stuff. And for me to say thief and for him to take a game, it made me feel like it was a sexist remark. I mean, like, how he's never took a game from a man because they said thief.
News outlets and celebrities are backing Williams, insisting that she wouldn't have been treated so harshly if she were a man, and that male players have had far more aggressive outbursts. The Women's Tennis Association is also throwing its weight behind the star.
The WTA believes that there should be no difference in the standards of tolerance provided to the emotions expressed by men versus women, and is committed to working with the sport to ensure that all players are treated the same. We do not believe that this was done.
Nonetheless, Carlos Ramos, the umpire in question, is known for his tough approach, and not just towards women. At this year's Wimbledon quarter-final, he warned a male player for throwing his racket to the ground. In 2016, he penalised Andy Murray for his remark of stupid umpiring. Women's rights advocate Reese and social commentator Anthony Bryan Logan joined us to discuss the fallout, then, from the Williams incident.
I think she acted the way she did because she was frustrated that she was losing the match. And people don't really realize that she already played Naomi Osaka earlier in the year. I think it was in March down in Florida. And she lost back then as well. So it's just sports. You got frustration and she reacted in an emotional way. All the feminism and stuff like that, I think that came afterwards to try and do some damage control, to try and cover up the fact that she lost twice now. That's all that it is.
What you have is the greatest tennis player of all times. This was not about her being frustrated at losing a game. This was about a woman that they've attempted to literally box her in at every level, and they've said things about her, and she's been under attack as the greatest player of all times, and it's unfortunate that they just mistreat her the way that they do.
She had the first violation, which was for coaching. Now, she can say that she didn't see the guy giving her the signal. Okay, that's fine. It was just a warning. There was no penalty. The second violation came where she slammed the racket on the ground, broke the racket. You can't do that. So at that point, you had the first violation, second violation. You should be kind of just treading on easy times. You shouldn't be going and doing too much else. The question you have to ask here is, have these other guys that she mentioned had a first violation, second violation, then continue to act up? Or did they say, okay, I got to calm down now, and then I can't go anymore after that?
The definition of coaching requires that she actually received the communication, which she did not. She didn't see it, and even her coach said that he may have.
I didn't say she saw it. I didn't say she saw it.
But that she didn't hear it. So then there was no need for a violation because she didn't receive it. So there's no need for the first one. The second one, people throw rackets all the time. John McEnroe threw rackets and cursed and everything else, and it was called sportsmanship. He was vigorous. He had passion. He didn't receive warnings, and it was tolerated. And so for Serena to be lambasted and for this win to be stolen from her, it's really unacceptable, and it's really disgusting that there's been such a campaign against her. And I'm really concerned that we have an issue, even with the McKnight caricature portraying her as some type of animal. I'm really just confused as to why we weren't willing to accept that she's just that great without cheating.
I mean, she already lost before, but she lost before. She lost in March earlier to Naomi Osaka. So, I mean, was it sexism in March? that made her lose that match, or did she just happen to lose fair and square? Because
no,
let's be honest, throughout this entire match this time, she was not playing very well.
She
was not playing very well in this match.
And she took her
the same way she did not play very well in the first match they had in March, where she also lost.